Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? So, I don't think I've read for you before, so I'd like to explain real quick how this works. First, um, I'll never be dial a psychic, so I always have a list. I always have people. I always have work in front of me. So it's never going to be probably the same day. Once in a while, not very often. So I apologize for you having to wait a few days. Um, Let me explain how this works. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. And I try to describe the picture the best I can. They never waste a message. There is always a reason for whatever they show or say. So if it doesn't make any sense now, just keep it in mind. You'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and go, oh, I know what he's talking about. This is non-exact science. We communicate the best way we can. So sometimes you got to stretch it outside the box a little bit. He's not going to give me all the details. Details are none of my business. He'll give me just enough, so hopefully you'll understand what he's referring to. So we're going to talk to Jesse. No, he's singing, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. I went too far. Okay. So, all right. I went too far, but still nothing could have. Sorry, I'm muttering. Need more coffee. There's still nothing you could have done to stop it. He's saying it was in the cards. It was in the cards. Now, I will say, I believe in past lives, that we're here many times. So before we get here, we decide our exit point. Don't know why, just what they've taught me. Can be when you're 1 day old, can be when you're 100 years old. Whatever that timeline is, it can shift just a little bit, depending on what's going on around you, how it's going to, what people are going to learn from it, or how it's going to affect their life and push them in a different direction they need to go. It truly works that way. But most of the time, suicide is checking out before you've learned your lessons, and you're not in your timeline. But he was there's a very few times where it was actually planned for a reason ahead of time. Don't know why. Most of the time it's just like, no, you're not supposed to leave yet, but we're done. So he said his was according to schedule. His was according to plan. Don't know why the plan was this way. And I hate to say this, but he's saying something about your number's up. When your number's up, your number's up. It's kind of true. But I don't know that we always plan the way we're going to leave, but we plan about the time we're going to leave. Don't know. I cannot answer that question. So as far as, was there anything you could have done? No. He, he says, you ought to see the cool shit I get to do now. He's not showing me, though. Let me see if he's going to show me. So he's right here leaning over my shoulder, staring, looking at you. He's got his eyes open kind of wide, like he's really looking. And I don't know if you've seen this, or you're going to see this. And it could be like when you first wake up, open your eyes. It could be in a dream. I don't feel like it's going to be in a dream. Could be when you're looking down at something, you look up and you think you see him staring at you. He said he's not trying to creep you out. He's not trying to scare you. But he's intently putting his energy there so that you know that he's... If it scares you, tell him, ask him not to do it. But you're going to like open your eyes or look up or something and you think you see his face right in front of you. If you haven't already. He wants you to know that he's okay. So he's doing it strong enough that because he know. Good grief, I'm muttering. Sorry. He wants you to know he's okay. He wants you to know things are cool. He wants you to know that he's been with Grandma. Feel like it might be Grandma on Dad's side, somewhere more on that side. I'm trying to see if he's gonna. This is his show. It's his ball game. If he'll tell me what he wants us to know. They don't answer every question. I'm trying to see who he's with. Ringing. Something about ringing. Ringing. You hear something ringing. It doesn't sound like a phone. It sounds like a... I don't know that it's a bell ringing either. I don't know what kind of ringing this is. I have ringing in my ears. I don't think it's... You're going to have to tell me. Well, it sounds like I have tinnitus, so I have ringing in the ears, but this is more like an electrical noise ringing. I wouldn't even call it humming. It's more like ringing. But it's kind of a solid noise. But it's kind of like the ringing in my ears. I don't know for sure what he's getting at, but you're going to hear this if you haven't already. So know that when you hear that, that's a sign from him. Validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more. It's your free will choice if you want more or not. It's also your free will choice if you don't like that face, when you open your eyes. He says, not that I'm haunting you. He said he's just trying to let you know he's okay. Now he's showing me that when he left, he wasn't exactly distraught. He just felt like time to go. Time to go. I'm out of here. Fuck this shit. Like he just knew and he was okay with it. So he's asking you, excuse me, where do you want to go from here? What do you really want to do with your life? Where do you want to be? What do you want to be? He says you have not answered those questions for yourself. Where do you want to go in life? He said it's time for you to think about it. Time for you to consider where you want to go. And I don't mean like to Colorado or California or something, but where do you want to go as a person? Where do you want to go? He says it's not even about the career. It's what do you want to be? Not like a doctor or an architect. What do you want to be as a person? He said, it's time. And I promise you 1,000% he can hear you, he can see you, you can talk to him all you want to. And when you talk to him, you don't have to say it out loud. You can talk telepathically. We have telepathic ears. He said something about he was shuffling his feet. Shuffling his feet. Like felt like he wasn't going anywhere. Like his time was done, he was just shuffling along. And he's hoping that you will understand that and that you will accept that. He says everything is choices, and I have the right to make my own choices. Tell him I love you, man. And he wants to fist bump with you. So if you feel, hold your fist up. It may take a few times before you actually feel him fist bump you. Ask him to. Ask him to. Just hold your fist up. Don't clench it really, really tight. Just relax it. Hold it up. Preferably not with the ring. Hold it up. And see if you don't feel like a little push or could be warmth. I never know how somebody else is going to feel the energy because we all feel it different. It could just feel like a tingle. It could feel like a pin sticks you. Don't know what you're going to feel when you do that. He says, don't expect me to do it 100 times. And then he kind of laughs, kind of chuckles. He says, hey man, I enjoyed you this trip around the sun. You were a lot of fun. Don't get too dark and heavy. He is light, he is bright, he's serious, but he's a very calm, gentle, loving, serious, solemn. Solemn may not be the right word. Solemn sounds a little sad. He's not sad. When we leave, we don't go to hell. I've never seen one in hell yet. We go to where we're forgiven, where we're cleansed, where we're healed. And I always tell people they peel us like an onion. They strip all that heavy, negative crap that we pick up down here until our soul, our spirit is free, light, bright, vibrations higher. And he wants you to know that. He says, I went exactly where I needed to go. And he's like super, super confident that this is exactly right. The whole thing, it was exactly right. He said, it sucks for those left behind, but for my soul, this was exactly right and still is. He is totally straight down his path. And his path is totally different than yours. Everybody has their own path. You have your own path. He says you're trying to wander off your path. He says you need to get back on it. Sit down and think, what do I really want to be as a person, as a soul, as a spirit, as a, what's the other word? He left me hanging. Yep, he's not going to say it. Okay, so with that, he's going to leave. When you get those couple of signs or whatever, always make sure you validate him. Let him know that you know that that's him. Then you'll be ready for the next step. You'll be ready for more. You'll be ready for different stuff or something bigger, something different. So he's doing the fist bump again. He says, I love you, man. Love you, man. Stay safe, stay warm. Oh, I don't know where you live. It's nice here in Kansas. And know that I'm there to help you anytime you want. So do not be afraid to call on him. Whatever he was good at here, and you need help with that, ask him. He cannot override your free will choice. Ask him, and then be willing to accept whatever steps in front of you, like somebody will call, or you'll run into somebody, or maybe if it's about a job or something, a new job, somebody will come in and offer you something new. That's up to you to take those steps forward. But do not be afraid to ask him for help. He's more than willing. Okay, with that, he's waving as he walks away. Much love to you, my dear. Thank you for understanding how I work. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. See you later.